The 11th episode of Lazarus delivers one of the season's most intense and revealing chapters as the team races against time to uncover the truth behind Hapna's origins. With just weeks remaining before the first wave of deaths, this episode pulls back the curtain on disturbing government experiments while introducing a legendary assassin whose appearance threatens everything the Lazarus team has worked for. The episode begins with a bombshell revelation about Axel Gilberto's past. We learned that Amon Prison was forcing death row and life sentence inmates to participate in drug trials, experiments that we now understand were early prototypes of Hapna. Axel is described as living proof of these experiments, and remarkably, he appears to be the only survivor among the test subjects. This shocking disclosure adds a crucial piece to the Hapna puzzle, suggesting government involvement in the drug's development long before Dr. Skinner's public breakthrough. Meanwhile, Doug and Elena are headed to Pakistan on what they believe is their final chance to locate Skinner. Their journey appears to be connected to finding the prison doctor who oversaw the Amon experiments, someone who might hold critical information about why Axel survived while other test subjects died. This mission takes on even greater urgency when we learn that U.S. Army Intelligence and Security Command, INSCOM, has dispatched special operations forces to the same location, suggesting powerful interests want to prevent the truth from coming to light. The team's leader, Hirsch, makes the bold decision to confront INSCOM directly, hoping to protect Doug and Elena by calling off the military pursuit. In a tense confrontation with an official named Schneider, Hirsch reveals she knows about the secret Amon prison experiments and threatens to expose everything if they don't stand down. You apparently have a different reason, Hirsch observes about INSCOM's interest in Skinner, implying the military has motivations beyond preventing a global health catastrophe. The scene ends with Schneider detaining Hirsch on vague charges of treason, a clear indication that powerful forces are determined to keep Hapna's origin secret. The episode delivers its most intense sequence when Axel, who had gone to secure a witness, likely the prison doctor, encounters a mysterious assassin in Pakistan. What follows is an extraordinary battle through crowded streets that showcases both fighters' exceptional abilities. The team identifies this attacker as the Phantom Assassin, a legendary killer whose existence was previously considered mythical because those who've seen him are dead. The fight choreography in this sequence is breathtaking, with both combatants displaying near superhuman reflexes and endurance. During this battle, the assassin makes cryptic references to something called Hundun, and repeatedly asks Axel, "Tell me who you are," to which Axel responds, "I am no one." These exchanges suggest a shared history or training between them. The assassin recites what sounds like a mythological tale. Feeling sorry for the Hundun's lack of a face, the people bore holes into him. But that only caused the Hundun great pain, so it went on a rampage that could not be stopped. This seemingly enigmatic story appears to hold special significance for both Axel and the assassin, though Axel claims he can't remember what happened next. Meanwhile, Doug and Elena's journey to Pakistan becomes increasingly perilous when they realize they're being followed. In a selfless move, Doug decides to stay behind to stall their pursuers while Elena continues alone to find their target, codenamed Popcorn. Their brief conversation about what they'll do if the world returns to normal, with Elena humorously mentioning her craving for a disgusting burger, provides a touching moment of humanity amid the escalating danger. Doug's parting words, "Sorry, I have no intention on dying. I'll surrender." That'll keep them occupied, emphasize both his dedication to the mission and his survival instinct. Back at Lazarus headquarters, Abel Anderson, identified as the founder of Lazarus, arrives unexpectedly, further complicating matters. His appearance coincides with news of Hirsch's detention and the chaotic battle between Axel and the Phantom Assassin. The team scrambles to respond to these simultaneous crises, with Chris setting off to rescue Hirsch while expressing his determination to bring Axel back safely as well. The episode reaches its climax when the assassin seems to trigger something in Axel by showing him what appears to be Hundun's wing. This causes Axel to experience flashbacks or visions where someone is instructing him to rid yourself of emotion. Rid yourself of reason. Rid yourself of your heart. And become a faceless monster. These commands, coupled with the Hundun mythology referenced earlier, suggest Axel may have undergone psychological conditioning or brainwashing beyond the drug experiments we already know about. As the fight reaches its most brutal stage, Axel desperately tries to remember the end of the Hundun story, asking his attacker what happened to the creature after holes were bored into its face. The assassin doesn't answer but instead launches a final assault. The episode ends with Chris arriving on the scene and calling out Axel's name as we see Axel apparently wounded or down, leaving viewers with a devastating cliffhanger about his fate. This episode effectively elevates the stakes of the series by connecting Hapna's development to secret government experiments and introducing the Phantom Assassin as a formidable new threat. The revelation that Axel was one of these test subjects adds both personal stakes and a disturbing new dimension to the team's mission. If Axel survived the prototype Hapna when others died, his biology might hold the key to creating the vaccine they desperately need. The Hundun references introduce a mythological element that deepens the mystery around both Axel and the assassin. In Chinese mythology, Hundun is a primordial god of chaos often depicted as a faceless creature, which aligns with the assassin's references to faceless monsters. This suggests that whatever organization trained the assassin, and possibly Axel, used this mythology as part of its conditioning program to create perfectly obedient killers without personal identity or moral compass. The episode leaves viewers with several urgent questions. What is Axel's connection to the Phantom Assassin? Will Elena find Popcorn/Skinner without Doug's protection? Can the team rescue Hirsch from Inscom detention? And most importantly, what secret about Hapna's development is the military so desperate to hide that they would send an elite assassin to eliminate witnesses? As the Lazarus team faces these mounting challenges with just weeks before the first wave of Hapna-related deaths, this episode dramatically raises the stakes while suggesting that finding Skinner may be just the beginning of their battle. The conspiracy behind Hapna appears far larger and more sinister than they initially believed, with government agencies willing to kill to maintain their secrets even as millions of lives hang in the balance.